In this second video about horse groups, we're going to talk about adding people to the horse group and giving them some permissions. So to add people, we simply click on the Add People button, and it provides a list of people we are connected with from the People tab. Now to adjust that list, you would go to the People tab and add or remove contacts. There's another video all about that. I'll link to it in the comments. So for Clark's horses, I'm going to add these people. Tim, I'm connected with, but he has nothing to do with Clark's horses, so I'm not going to add him to the horse group at this point. So I've added them, and as you can see, they appear here. Now let's give them some functionality. What do we want them to be able to do? So clicking on People Permissions, this gives you a very broad group of permissions that we could give that person. So the first thing is Bruce Wayne is an owner. Okay, I know Clark knew him back when he was in the Justice League. So he's going to become an owner and get full access to all functions of the horse group along with Clark. Now Tina, she's our vet. So she's not an owner. She doesn't need to edit the stable. She doesn't need to add or remove horses or assign horse permissions. She doesn't need to actually add and remove horses in total from the stud, and she doesn't need to access this page. So Tina, being a vet, has no stud level permissions. Now Andy, he's effectively our manager. Now, even though he might be able to edit the name and logo, we want him being able to add and remove horses. Maybe we won't let him. So Andy, being the manager, he can edit everything to do with the horse group except the actual details of the horse group. So he can't edit the name, logo, email, etc. But he can manage everything else. So that's all updated. And if I go back, you can see it's exactly as we asked. Bruce is now an owner. And that's good. So now we need to find out what horses people have access to. Now, owners have access to all horses by default. Tina, she is our vet. She just needs to be able to view, and I'll give her the function to perhaps edit events. But I don't want her adding events because, let's face it, vets are pretty busy. But she might access a horse, see that I've spilt the name of a medication incorrectly, and might just be able to adjust that. So I'm happy with a vet having those sorts of access. Now with Andy, he's our manager. Look, we need to give him access to everything. Okay. So Andy's almost an owner in that he can do pretty much everything except edit this section of content here. Tina, being our vet, she can just see the horses and events. She won't be able to edit anything to do with Clark's horses. So that's the next stage of adding people to your horse group. Now, people could be people like vets, farriers, people who do body work, the equine massage people, your chiropractor. They could be your stable hands. They could be your family members, and you just give them appropriate permissions as needed. So that is people part of horse groups.